shot is like a golf swing. I don't know if he's seen my golf swing, but he said it takes some time in order for all the mechanics and everything to come together and it just become natural.
And we will see. These two teams met just 5 days ago. Chicago won that ball game 101-85, the most points scored by New York so far this season. And for Chicago, 82 of those 101 points were scored by their starters. But they're going to be missing one starter tonight. Azurá Stevens will not be playing in the game, still nursing that injury. Hope to have her back very quickly. And we are underway. New York will have it. Let's keep an eye on Layshia Clarendon. They were telling us before the game they wanted to shoot more threes.
Well, in their last game, just a minute into their first possession, she passed up a three, and Walt Hopkins pulled her off the floor.
Here is Chicago's starting five. It'll be Vandersloot and Quigley along with Copper, Gabby Williams getting her second consecutive start, and Stephanie Dolson. Don't forget, Gabby Williams started 30 games a couple of years ago. Chicago has been looking for consistency. Players telling us this week they feel they're getting closer to that. Copper on the drive, own rebound and follow. Up top, Stokes will let it rip from three.
And like we said, any player at any given time, because they shoot, when they do have practice time, they are constantly putting up threes. Walt Hopkins is continuing to build that confidence from the three-point line.
Put Kia Stokes in perspective. 3 3-point attempts her first 4 years. The one she just made was her 48th. And here is the starting lineup for New York. Clarendon, the rookie Odom, who's having an outstanding year. Kia Nurse, Stokes, and Amanda Zawibi. That is easy for Odom. You know, she's one of these players, Coach, that's finding where she fits into this team.
Well, when you're a rookie, you have to really have the confidence to make yourself an option. And Nay Odom has done a terrific job with that. This is a young woman that has come into the league with great confidence.
Courtney Vandersloot, the pull-up, no. Zawibi taps it to herself. New York, 12 days, they've got 6 games. They took Sunday off, but they did have a couple of good days of practices. Coach Hopkins was telling us, walking that fine line with him. Clarendon on the drive with the left hand, can't finish it out. Gabby Williams quickly up ahead to Vandersloot. They leave her open. Offensive rebound, second of the ball game, and the putback. Gabby Williams active on the inside.
Her energy is what has allowed her to be in the position to step in with Azurá Stevens being out.
Last 5 games, Gabby's only shot 22%. This may get her going tonight because she has the potential to put points up. Zawibi, the three. Allie Quigley may have gotten away with a little shove on Odom on that rebound.
You saw that too, right?
Yeah, it was a veteran move, we'll say. Beautiful pass. That's what makes Sloot so good.
And talking to Courtney Vandersloot, like she sees things and then remembers it may be a few plays down the road, but she will tell her teammates, listen, this is going to be open for you, and she'll get you the ball right where you want it.
Coach Beck will give us examples of that as our telecast continues. Here that is again.
Well, she recognizes that Kia Stokes is going to bite on her drive to the middle of the lane, and that's going to allow Stephanie Dolson to be wide open.
Game 1 between these two teams. Vandersloot, 19 points, 10 assists, and 4 steals. We've been part of some pretty big games. We were there when she got 15 assists, which was one off the WNBA record.
She's just so fun to watch because, I mean, if teams say, well, we're going to just play her for the pass, then she'll show you can score. The threes are falling for the New York Liberty so far in this first quarter.
New York has made 3 field goals. 2 have been from beyond the arc. Zawibi gets 1. And again, she's one of the players, Coach Walt Hopkins says Zawibi has got to shoot threes. And he doesn't mind if they're contested. Copper's going to be fouled on the play by Nurse.
But you look at Zawibi, she's shooting 38.8% from the three-point line. And so that is one of the people that needs to be taking the threes for the New York Liberty.
For the last 5 games from the field, she has not shot better than 36%, but they'll take it if she knocks down the threes.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing for us, Ron, is that we're not in the Wubble, so we don't get to go to practice. Not that they get that much practice time, but Walt Hopkins talks about what he sees in practice, and he just needs that to be transferred into games.
Copper 13 straight double-figure games, 11 in a row. Chicago up by 2.
Now, the first few possessions of New York, they're moving very well, and Walt Hopkins wanted to see their offensive execution really come together. They're moving the ball, and bodies are moving as well.
Nurse, little pump fake. Quigley bought it, takes it inside, can't finish it. And quickly up ahead, here comes Chicago. Quigley closing in on the all-time record scoring in Chicago history, and now she is only 4 points away from breaking Sylvia Fowles' mark. Good defense. Looked like Dolson may have gotten just slammed in the chest.
She's tough. She'll be all right.
Really. Look at her getting real low on Zowie B, who's arm wrestling her. Now she moves over to the right block. Vandersloot has it rejected.
If there's any player on the floor, you don't go under the screen. Nay Odom cannot go under that screen when she's defending Allie Quigley, because that's a shooter that's going to make you pay.
Amanda Zowie B with a block, pull-up jumper. They wanted a foul, not going to get it. When these two teams played last, and you and I did the game, Coach Walt Hopkins said our energy on a scale of 1 to 10 was an 11. He said they fought. He was very proud of this squad.
He really was pleased with their defensive intensity. And he wanted to see a game where the offense was the same and matched. And so far, that's what he's getting from this young squad.
Zowie B already checking in with 6 points in the ball game. Sloot kept it alive. On the drive, Cheyenne Parker is going to be fouled. .451 to play in the opening quarter. Chicago and New York.
Like, for instance, the last game, I was just running the play, just like to run it. And y'all, just as easy as it looked good, as Courtney threw the pass over the top, and I just got it and laid it up. That was her. She told me exactly what to do and exactly how the defense would play me. And I think she's just so smart.
And you watch, it's 4:55 on the clock, and the defense was lazy on Kalia Copper running the baseline. Courtney Vandersloot saw that. Now, Ka hits the three here, but now check the clock. At 4:16, the next possession down, again, Courtney Vandersloot recognized that Kennedy Burke was playing on the top side of Kalia Copper and got the easy two.
You know, when we were talking to her yesterday, Courtney Vandersloot, the 31-year-old in her 10th year, told us that things have slowed down where she can see things a little clearer at times. And you talk to any great point guard, and they do. They understand that sometimes it slows down. I think that was a great point. She knew exactly what was going to happen on that play.
Well, and on the Zoom calls that we've been on, you've had Cheyenne Parker, who even referenced a time in the game when Courtney Vandersloot came to her and said, this is how I can get you the ball, and this is how it scores, and it works. That's how you, as a point guard, build trust in the rest of your team. When you see it, you execute it, and it happens.
Well, New York, 3 of 5 from beyond the arc so far tonight. They've had to simplify their offense from where they were at the beginning of the year, just because of the players that they have now and such a learning experience for them. Paris Keys checked into the lineup for New York. This is only her 3rd game played. Outside shot again.
Going to keep talking about rookies when you're talking about the New York Liberty, and Jasmine Jones has been a terrific spark off the bench. She was the spark in their last game, coming in early in the first quarter when Lasia Clarendon came out. She's like Vinnie Johnson. She can heat up, score points quickly.
Cheyenne Parker pulls it away, and she will take it over the timeline. Parker out of Middle Tennessee. Give Vandersloot a lot of room. Takes it inside. Whistle, draws the contact and the foul.
Jasmine Jones has such tremendous athleticism and the ability to jump up over her defender to score. I saw her do it too many times when she played at the University of Louisville, and she has brought that to the WNBA.
Asked one WNBA coach, give me a couple of adjectives for her, and they said aggressive and active. And I think that's correct. We'll go with that.
Well, and she plays with such high emotion, and Walt Hopkins and Laysha Clarendon have had to talk to her and really show her how to use that emotion in the right direction to channel it. And now that she has, you have seen that she has matured throughout this short WNBA season.
And here is Paris Key. Honorable mention, her senior year in North Carolina. Played 11 games with Indiana before coming over here to Chicago. She'll take the three. Doesn't get it. 0 for 5 now this season. The fall away won't go down. Kylie Shook tried to get the baseline jumper. Oh, look at that pass. Quigley gave it up. They'll set it up again. Copper launches, makes the three. '18th from beyond the arc for Copper the last 4 games. She's 7 of 13 from 3-point range. I'll do the math, 54%. She just added to that.
Watch Courtney Vandersloot. When the ball goes in, when it comes out, she already has a plan of where it's going to go. So if you're playing with the Chicago Sky and Courtney Vandersloot, you better have your hands ready, because if you're open, she's going to get it to you.
And the lead is a half a dozen. Closing in on 3 minutes to play here in the opening quarter. He takes it strong inside, and she's going to draw the foul.
For the first 7 minutes, Ron, I like what the New York Liberty are doing. They are aggressive to the basket. They are aggressive in moving the basketball. And that's the execution that Walt Hopkins has been looking for.
Here is Key. That's her first free throw attempt this year. There's a good look at Coach Hopkins in his first year as head coach of the New York Liberty. Came over from Minnesota, brought Shelly Patterson with him. Kelly Raymond, Dustin Gray, all part of that staff. And they are always in teaching mode. Sydney Colson's coming to the lineup for Chicago.
You have to with such a young team.
Yeah. And he talked about the metrics of just learning in increments. And Ruthie Hebert with the deuce.
Well, I talked to her this morning, and she said she is learning to stay active and to move and to get out of the way.
Yeah, no. When she said that, goes, I've got to move without the ball. In other words, I got to get out of the way of people.
But
Boy,
with her
T
size,
just
she
bumps
needs to be a
Colson.
target.
Yeah.
We see Quickly coming off the screen, and then the slip once you set the screen. And a lot of times the screener is the most dangerous person on the floor, because if her defense helps, you're the option if you set a good screen.
And there is James Wade in his second year as head coach of Chicago. WNBA Coach of the Year last season. Inside, Parker. Parker first field goal tonight. Nurse lost the handle. She's been getting more minutes over the last 4 games. Outside, buried. Jocelyn Willoughby, the 23-year-old out of Virginia. She's only had 4 points in the last 3 games, 2 of 7 shooting, and then Chicago just bangs on the inside. Parker with the 2.
What I like about what New York is doing is when penetration happens, you see players moving into the open areas.
Shook, nice pass. Key lets the 3 go, and she knocks it down. Her first from beyond the arc after missing her first 5 this season. Little double clutch. No. Offensive rebound, and it rolls around. Copper with the 2. She's got 9 in the ball game already. Nurse tried to go inside. Too many other colored jerseys. Copper will set things up again. Posting up way down low inside. Hebert had great position.
He's got the height advantage over Willoughby. Jocelyn Willoughby inside.
Nurse lost the handle, and it should belong to Chicago. And it will, with 33.3 to play in the opening quarter.
You know, through these first 13, 14 games in the WNBA, I have seen the maturation of these rookies. As you look at the play of that last possession of Ruthie Hebert, of recognizing I have a mismatch and not just being in a position, but occupying space, being a threat to score.
Coach James Wade made an interesting observation yesterday. Said that he felt that this team is farther ahead than last year's squad. Colson throws it away. It'll belong to New York. Shot clock will be turned off, and that won't be a happy time for Coach Wade. So New York with a chance to cut into this lead. This has been the biggest lead for Chicago so far. Shook, got to get rid of it from 17, knocks it down at the buzzer.
New York Liberty, that might be the best first quarter that they've had, and it's been contribution by the rookies that are keeping the New York Liberty into this ball. The New York Liberty have done a terrific job of moving the basketball, but more importantly, without the basketball, moving into open areas and being willing to make the extra pass to find the open shooter. When you got time, your percentages go up. And right now, the New York Liberty, they're 4 for 8 from the three-point line.
I'll tell you what is impressive when you look at the stats. They've got 8 assists now on 8 baskets made. Now, to put that in perspective, for the season, they average 16 assists a game, or 21 assists a game, I'm sorry. From the outside, Key can't get it go, getting a lot of playing time tonight.
She's a three-point shooter now.
Oh, yeah.
She can heat up on a quickness, and she's already hit one, so I would look for her, maybe 2.
Well, she fits right into Coach Hopkins' system then.
Absolutely.
Quigley banged around. She will go down. Good start, though, for Allie Quigley, already with 5 points in the ball game.
We were talking about Paris Key last season. She played limited minutes for the Indiana Fever, but she shot almost 56% from the floor, or from 3, and 40% from the floor. She likes it outside the arc.
Allie Quigley at the line. Knocks them both down. Quigley had 19 points in the first meeting between these two teams. On top, calling for the ball, getting the ball. Willoughby knocks it down. Willoughby did not have a three-pointer made since July 31st up until that one. Parker shows it, gives it up. Another 3, another bury. Colson knocks down the 3. She is a perfect 3 for 3 this season from beyond the arc. T. I thought we were getting into a little horse game here. I can do that.
I was thinking the same thing.
Like, settle down, guys. Gabby Williams out front, running the point now. She'll pull up just inside the three-point line. Chicago shooting over 60%, coach, in this game.
Well, Chicago is such a threat from the three-point line, but they also can take you off the bounce and get paint points. That's what's been successful for them in the last 4 wins. So you want to protect the paint, but you got to realize they can shoot it outside as well.
Boy, they can. Nice double pump move by Parker, and Shook's going to foul her. 11-point advantage for Chicago. We were talking about how well they play, but then you look down, it's an 11-point lead. Probably because they're shooting 62% right now. Here is Cheyenne Parker.
Well, and everybody in a Chicago Sky uniform has scored. I mean, there's just a threat from all 5 positions.
Once again, DeShields is not playing. She may be available either next game or the game after that. And Azrae Stevens also out of today's game. Here's Azrae going with the hair down tonight.
You have a couple of days off. You can change your do up a little bit.
There you go. You didn't even mention I got my new do, too.
I did notice your haircut, Ron.
And the operative word there is hair, one, singular. That's all I got left. Daughters do that to you. He, couple of dribbles, pull up, has to give it up from deep in the corner. This time the 3 won't go. Gabby Williams pulls it away. Get right into their offense. Nice kick out. Williams for 3. And the putback. That is just a heads-up play by Ruthie Hebert.
Where did she come from? She came flying in for that offensive rebound. Was she on the bench? I mean, she comes flying in, and she wins the race to the glass. That's why they're in the hunt to get to the top spot of the WNBA. The Chicago Sky only 1 game out of position for top spot in the league. Well, they move the ball. They have scorers that are also willing passers, and their improvement over the last 4 games. Coming into the midway point, they were number 4 in the league in scoring. Now, in just the last 4 games, if you rank the teams, they were number 1 in scoring, putting up 91 points a game, and they also increased their paint points to almost 41 points a game.
I think you also look down and you see that 7 of their 14 games this season, they've shot 50%, but they're not turning the ball over as much as they did at the beginning of the year. Amanda's Dowie B right down the tunnel.
I think that was a good timeout for New York. Don't get shot happy because you made some shots early. Keep your aggression to the basket.
And they're only 1 of 5 shooting here in the second. Quigley can't get it. Zowie B pulls it away. Here comes New York. Clarendon, nice pass up ahead off the hands of Stokes.
Well, Amanda Zowie B, knowing that she's got Ruthie Hebert on her, sees an opening in the lane, and that's the best place to drive from, is straight down the middle, because where's the help going to come from?
Vandersloot has been quiet so far tonight as far as assists. She only has 2. Inside, nope, we've got a foul. Says referee Billy Smith, who's joined by Isaac Barnett and Randy Richardson tonight.
Keep an eye on Amanda Zowie B. This is one of the first games I've really seen to where she's not just camping outside the 3-point line. She's been a threat in the paint.
Oh, she picked that ball up. Yeah, that's a turnover. And it's funny because you and I were talking the last game that New York really doesn't have that post that plays back to the basket. You know, that may be a downfall for them.
Well, when they have their post players that have size, yes, I know you want to shoot the 3, but when you show the versatility or the diversity of your game and make the opponent respect that you're a threat to the paint, that'll give you more time outside the 3-point line.
Vandersloot gives it up, looking for Williams. Nurse gives her a lot of room on the outside. Trying to get Parker, who's going to set the pick. Sloot from 14, a little strong. Rebound knocked around, and Quigley ends up with the ball. Good job defensively by Stokes. Whoa, that's going to be a foul on Kia Nurse, and that'll be her 2nd personal.
And now what I've seen from New York is their defensive intensity has picked up in this second quarter, especially their ball screen defense and playing it to personnel.
That's probably the hardest thing to teach rookies. Offense, they know how to shoot the basketball, but WNBA defense, whole different animal. Another offensive rebound. Williams can't finish it out. 7 offensive rebounds already in the game for Chicago. Clarendon, nice head fake, counted. Beautiful move.
Their offense is a read and react, and Lasia Clarendon coming off the ball screen. She kept in the corner of her eye. Where's Kia Stokes? And you see Allie Quigley rotate down. That means that the post player, Cheyenne Parker, had to commit, and that is a terrific ball fake to get the finish and get the opportunity at the free throw line.
Clarendon, an outstanding free throw shooter. Gets them both. Continues her streak. She's hit her last 15 straight from the stripe. The lead cut down to 10. Biggest lead was 15 for Chicago, and they add to it as Sloot gets behind the defense.
Well, you want to get a good offensive cut from a post player, give the ball to Stephanie Dolson. She's going to make some good decisions from there.
Stephanie Dolson averages almost 2.5 assists a ball game. Nurse bangs into Dolson, didn't even move her. Vandersloot works off the pick. They switch. Gabby Williams now on her. Copper works on Stokes. Whistle and a foul.
You look at Stephanie Dolson, just the cut, and as soon as she recognizes on the pivot that she's got Lasia Clarendon hung up, she knows Vandersloot's going to be open for the layup.
Foul was on Stokes. That is her second personal foul. Dolson is not moved very easily.
No, she is not.
No. And Copper at the line, 72% on the stripe this season. And you made a great point, and all the players we've talked to over the last 2 or 3 days have said, we all knew that Kalia Copper had it in her. The difference is this year she's getting an opportunity.
Well, with the injury to Diamond DeShield, it's given Kalia Copper an opportunity to shine.
Well, she did in the overseas game she played in Poland, really worked on her game over there, and she said that's been a big difference.
Well, while she was in Poland, she was the leader of the team. She had a major responsibility and has brought that back with her. Stephanie Dolson showing the versatility and the stretch of her game.
Dolson knocks down the 3. She's 2 of 2 today shooting the basketball, and she's just about 50% from beyond the arc on the year.
After an offensive rebound, Stephanie Dolson toes the line, knocks it down for the Chicago Sky.
Let's take a look at the upcoming WNBA national TV schedule coming up next on CBS Sports Network. Las Vegas, they've won 2 in a row, playing a very feisty Dallas team. That'll be coming up immediately following us. And then on Saturday at 2 o'clock Eastern time, this is going to be a good one, Seattle and Chicago. Seattle won the first meeting between these two back on August the 10th. And then a first, Dallas and Indiana, 4 o'clock Eastern time, the first WNBA game ever on CBS. That is a big, big deal.
Well, and it's great because you're going to have 2 top scorers in Arike Ogunbowale going against Chelsea Mitchell of the Indiana Fever. Both of those women are terrific out of the on-ball screen, but they also can shoot it up on their own, get it in transition, wide open from the 3. Those 2 women can knock it down.
Dallas won the first meeting between these 2 teams. It was a feisty game. It's going to be fun to watch. And the foul was on Odom. And Copper will go to the line. Coming off a career-high 26 points versus Indiana. It was 10 of 19 shooting. We're talking a lot about the playoffs, and you look at the top 8 teams making the playoffs. The Dallas Wings right now just a half a game back, 1 game in the loss column behind the Indiana Fever. And those 2, you want to get the season sweep. So if you're Indiana, that is a must-win situation.
No question. But you know what the fun part about this season is? There's about 8 or 9 games left. Every single game matters.
That's right.
It's got implications on who's in and who's out.
Nice pass, Zowie B from Clarington. Boy, Laisha just put that ball perfectly. Lost art. Battle 3.5. Courtney Vandersloot well off the mark. Copper pokes it. She is going to commit the foul, and that'll be number 2 on her.
Zowie B again making herself an option of going to the basket. You saw what Gabby Williams was trying to take away the catch for Zowie B beyond the three-point line, and that was a great read by Amanda Zowie B to attack the basket, go back door.
Now the first meeting with Chicago, she had 11 points. She's got 10 today.
The first time these two teams met, it was Chicago it was New York getting backdoor cuts on Chicago again. That's what they're able to do if they continue to move.
3 won't go down. Gabby Williams with the rebound. It's funny because we asked Coach Wade about that. Said, how'd you do on the back cuts? As Tia Nurse misses the layup. I said, how'd you do game 1 on the back cuts? She goes, we were terrible. We got to do a better job on it.
Well, they didn't defend the back cuts very well, and they also put the Liberty on the free throw line.
Clarendon for 3, knocks it down. We've told you a number of times on CBS Sports Network, don't count New York out. They're going to keep fighting.
Oh, they could ruin the party for you.
Oh. Vandersloot, no place to go, and just throws it away. You don't see that happen very often. Kia Nurse for 3. Just good hustle by Nurse. Inside and draws the foul.
Look, she has to shoot the 3 because Walt Hopkins said, if you're open and you don't take it, you're going to get to sit by me. So she is going to have her feet set every time. And then when you take the 3, a lot of times coaches say, don't follow your shot. But if you know you've got a safety defender back, yeah, follow your shot. Go get that offensive rebound.
What's been impressive for Nurse, she, of course, had some ankle problems. 4 of the last 5 games, she's played over 30 minutes of contest. First 7 games of the year, she didn't play 30 once. Getting more playing time. Lead cut down to 9. And a timeout's going to be called by Chicago. They've led by as many as 16. Coach Wade's lead has seen the lead, though, drop down to 9. 4 of 6 shooting the basketball. But what stood out to you, Coach, 2 of 3 from beyond the arc.
Well, she's got 3 3-point attempts and 3 2-point attempts, keeping a balance of a 50-50. That makes her a dangerous player, and I think that helps keep her in a scoring rhythm, especially when she's attacking, in that attack mentality.
Wide open 3-point attempt won't go. Parker fights for the rebound, ends up in Zowie B's hands. That's her 6th board already tonight. Inside of 2 to play here in the second. Clarendon. Dolson puts up the big hand. Zowie B. They don't mind her shooting if it's contested. With the left hand and the layup. Touchdown signal given by Coach Beck.
Well, that's her 4th 2-point attempt and a finish. She's playing aggressive into the paint, to the rim today.
Here's Jasmine Jones, one of the outstanding rookies for New York. She'll go left side, and Quigley's going to be called for the foul. Let's go back to Amanda Zowie B.
Well, she recognizes that Cheyenne Parker, she commits with that top right foot, and Zowie B attacks that foot off penetration. That gives her the advantage on the drive for that left-hand layup.
Born in Stockholm, member of the Swedish national team, and when she came into the league, she was only a post player. You talk about somebody that's game has evolved and gotten better. It's Amanda Zowie B.
Well, she has been able to, when she was at Minnesota, scoring a number of different ways. And so now to really combine that versatility in the WNBA, I'm going to tell you, she's got a potential to be a future All-Star.
I would agree with that. Played for the Dallas Wings, was traded to New York. Golson out front. Vandersloot, only 2 assists in the ballgame so far. Final 8 seconds on the shot clock. Golson pushed way out by Shook. Outside, Parker airballs the 3, and Copper goes down hard at the top of the key. Boy, you do not want to see this. Now she shakes the hands. Yeah, just a little box out by Willoughby got her.
Yeah, Copper was doing what Copper does, and that's flying in for an offensive rebound. But Willoughby now this time recognizing get box out position.
Copper had 14 in the first meeting between these two teams. Her 12th straight double-figure game, 14th overall this year. She had 7 double-figure games all of last year.
Ron Vandersloot only 2 assists so far.
When was the last time more than 5 minutes gone by did we say that? Usually we say that in the first couple of minutes, and Chicago gives up the 3 again. Willoughby knocks it down. Only her 6th this year. Copper tries to ditto it. And it's a 3-point game. New York with a chance to tie or pull within 1. Go inside, they lose it. Vandersloot. Quigley spots up, lets it fly. Offensive rebound, Golson. New York wanted to travel. Vandersloot kicks it back out. Copper with 3 to shoot. Long 3, no. Up ahead, Amanda Zawi B patiently gets the layup, and it's a 1-point game. Vandersloot, hesitation, the scoop, and the score. And they'll add a little bit of time on the clock, but still, the patience of Courtney Vandersloot.
Well, knowing the time on the clock, she sees that she has to take on Amanda Zawi B in order to get that 2 to finish out the quarter.
We've got a dandy going on. Chicago shoots 44%, but the bad news is they gave up New York and allowed them to shoot 47%. In their last game versus Indiana, Indiana shot 50%. So the defense of Chicago breaking down a little bit so far tonight.
And I think the defense on New York Liberty, pretty impressive so far.
And joining us is head coach Wade. Coach, you look at the score right now, 49-46, and you and I have talked over the last week or so about backcuts and defense. I would have to think you're not pleased with your defense so far tonight.
They're making shots.
Well, and the other thing, Coach, in looking at Courtney Vandersloot, only 2 assists. What are they doing to take away the openings that she normally sees?
We're just not making shots.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. Good luck in the second half. Coach James Wade, 49-46 is our halftime score. We take you inside the wubble. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the opening half, Coach.
Well, Courtney Vandersloot doing a nice job, only having 2 assists, but when ball movement and she could get the pressure into the paint, she could find openings. But Chicago has always been willing to make the extra pass and to find the open player. So James Wade wasn't happy with the number of shots that New York made, well, it had a lot to do with Amanda Zahui-B. She established herself beyond the three-point line, but you know what? She didn't grow roots outside the three-point arc. She then got into attack mode when the defense started pressuring her, whether it be on the back door or putting the ball on the deck. She has been aggressive and is the leading scorer with 14 points for the New York Liberty.
That's the most points she's had in 6 games. You have to go back to August 9th. New York was on fire in that opening half, shooting 47%. Their season best is just a shade under 44%. Courtney Vandersloot, only 2 assists, and she says, I'll just do this instead.
I talked to Courtney Vandersloot about if her team got off to a slow start or didn't have the separation. She gets a look about her, and she came out of this halftime with that look. And she said, I've got to bring the intensity, and then the rest of the team will follow.
Stokes baseline jumper over the outstretched hands of Dolson. Stokes with 5 in the ball game, and the lead stays at 3. Gabby Williams, 4-3. Knocks down her first of the ball game. She was 0 for the last 15 from 3, dating back all the way to August 4th. Zahui-B can't get it to go. That was much needed for Chicago. Copper, Quigley, Sloot. Quigley drives the paint. Odom, nice job defensively by the rookie, and that's going to be off the hands of Allie Quigley. And here are the numbers we were just talking about, Coach.
Well, you look at it, paint points and rebounds. The Sky win that, and you would think that there would be a bigger lead, but it's the 7 threes that New York has been able to knock down that has kept them in this ballgame.
Season high is 12 three-pointers made for New York. That was against Las Vegas. Zahui-B inside. Gabby Williams may have altered that shot. Here comes Copper. Quigley. And again, New York scratching and clawing back. Williams tried to get a cutting Zahui-B. Good job defensively by Gabby Williams. Clarendon will launch it. Clarendon will make the 3, her second tonight from beyond the arc.
That's why Walt Hopkins wants Laisha Clarendon to take the 3 when she's open.
Copper works off a pick. They triple teamed her. Gabby left open, makes them pay. Gabby Williams, her second three-pointer made. Already a career-high three-pointers made for Williams. Inside, Stokes with a left hand.
This is going to come down to the game of which defense is going to be willing to make stops.
Right now, New York shooting 49%. They toss it over. That'll be their 8th turnover of the ball game. Chicago only shooting 44% of the game. Number 1 in the WNBA in field goal percentage at almost 50%. Well, Courtney Vandersloot got between Kia Nurse and Laisha Clarendon.
We talked to James Wade at halftime, and we asked about his defense, and he said they were making shots. We asked about his offense, and he said they were not making shots. And that was just the bottom line to it.
Quigley catch, shoot, score.
They're making shots in this second half.
Inside, Stokes, great position. Nurse with the assist. Copper comes right back and answers.
It's a shootout, Ron.
Well, I tell you, New York at 50% shooting. Copper fouls Clarendon. That'll be her third personal foul. Paris Key back into the lineup, getting good minutes so far tonight. Nurse lets it fly and knocks down the three.
Nurse working her way out of her shooting slump. When she was in it earlier, she said, you know, when you're in the wobble, you never can get away from it, constantly thinking about it. She said she had to start reading. There goes Copper. But she started reading murder mystery books and just trying to do anything she could to get her mind off of it, because a lot of times you can self-guard, self-check yourself when you think about it too much.
Off the leg of Amanda Zawi-B. Nurse started 0 for 6 tonight shooting.
But she kept shooting, and that's what Walt Hopkins wants her to do. He believes in her shooting. Well, I tell you, I believe in Kalia Copper and her ability to maneuver through the defense to get buckets.
Last 3 games, Nurse has averaged over 18 points a ball game. 3 straight double-figure games. Dolson cuts off the baseline. Key, foot was on the line. That's a 2. Here's Quigley out front. Nurse faces her up. Leave Williams open, no. Here is Paris Key. 3rd round pick back in 2019. Zawi-B, tough fall away. And the lead is cut to 3. New York's done a good job tonight on Courtney Vandersloot. Now it is Key playing defense. And Dolson with the jumper. Dolson perfect 3 of 3 shooting tonight. She's got 7. Oh, great position on the inside, and Willoughby was so deep on that, Coach.
The defense, the offense is doing a nice job of recognizing when there's a mismatch, when there's a one-on-one isolation, and New York's taking advantage of it.
Willoughby in double figures. She only had 4 points in the last 3 games. She's got 10 tonight. We've got a whistle and a foul. How about Amanda Zawi-B tonight with 16 points?
Well, the Liberty only down 3, but it's because Zawi-B, she's feeling it. Even with the bump, she's able to finish. And recognizing the isolation inside, the New York Liberty look like a brand new team in this second half of the season. Got to score buckets in this league. Had an extra day off for the New York Liberty. It's paid off. Their offense has come together. James Wade wants to see the offense for the Chicago Sky tighten up because, look, they got a dogfight on their hands right now.
How about a season high 20 assists for New York in this game? And so far here in quarter number 3, they're shooting 64%. And here's Allie Quigley at the line, 10 points in the game. Perfect 4 of 4 from the stripe. But New York again within striking distance. The 3 won't find the range. Copper pulls it away. Chicago's won 4 straight, ties their best record after 14 games since 2013. New York trying to snap a 7-game losing skid.
Well, they have picked up the intensity. So far, Walt Hopkins is going to be pleased with the improvement that he has seen so far.
Oh, absolutely. And he's talked extensively about it. And hey, here's that cut one more time.
Well, Vandersloot recognizing she got the advantage. Face cut over Paris Key. Just a headsy play of the point guard to cut through the basket.
You know, Walt was telling us yesterday, he goes, this team's committed. He said, we don't have complaining. He says they're young players. They're learning how to be a pro, what to do on an off day, when to go to bed. He said, you know, they're learning that not sleeping's not recovering. He said, you've got to keep it all in perspective when it comes to the win-loss record and how are you improving and in what areas are you improving.
Well, when you've got six rookies that are in the bubble because Sabrina Ionescu is not there, that would be the seventh. You don't have a lot of veterans to learn from. And so he's having to continually to remind them about how to be a pro, and they have stayed with it.
Copper can't get the bounce. Stokes had it, lost it, but it ends up in New York's hands. Here is Jasmine Jones back to Stokes for three. Nothing but the bottom of the net.
I think her golf swing is starting to come together.
I love the analogy. And then they get the steal and the layup, and it's a two-point game. Chicago's going to have to call a timeout. Jasmine Jones with the layup.
Well, New York clicking. Kia Stokes getting used to shooting the three, very comfortable out there. And then the defense picking up for the New York Liberty. Hey, they're only down 2. We got a good one.
After the last time these two teams met, New York coach Walt Hopkins said, as far as our energy and tenacity, on a scale of 1 to 10, it was 11. Tonight, it's probably close to 15. This team is fighting, and now with a chance to tie or even take the lead. Zowie B steps up for the three, and New York has the advantage. Only the second time New York has led in this game. Vandersloot can't get it to go. Zowie B fights for it. It'll be Chicago's ball.
The Liberty believe. You see Zowie B toe the line with confidence, knocking down the three. Wow, what a game the Liberty has put together tonight.
Zowie B one off, or she's got 19 in the ball game.
They have 22 assists, Ron. This is the first time they've been over 20 all season.
And Zowie B comes up with the rebound. Biggest lead for New York was 1. Zowie B season high was 20. She's got 19 tonight. He pulls the trigger and another three. The 12th from beyond the arc for New York tonight.
Yeah, you can't play the percentages when you're defending New York. Don't look at the percentages because it's deceptive. They can get hot and then offensively be a nightmare.
And Vandersloot takes it upon herself to go to the hole, and she is fouled on the play. How about New York? 46% from 3, 53% overall.
And they normally shoot 28% from the three-point line.
Fans can cheer on their team from home using Tap to Cheer in the WNBA app by tapping on their team's logo to show their support. The team with the most taps at the end of the game wins, so be sure to go to WNBA.com to check the leaderboard each week and see how your team stacks up against the rest of the league.
I got to check that out because this game, there should be a whole lot of tapping going on.
Vandersloot has made 27 consecutive free throws, but now her team trails by 2. On the drive, and the defense breaks down again for Chicago, allowing Jasmine Jones to get the 2. Boy, they are hounding Quigley. Jones will commit the foul.
As we finish this third quarter and go into the fourth, now you have a veteran point guard for Chicago and Courtney Vandersloot that can usually orchestrate her team to pull off the win. There's less experience for the New York Liberty. How will this young team, the second youngest in the WNBA, fare as they are in striking distance going into the fourth quarter? They got the lead, actually, potentially going into the fourth quarter with 44 seconds left.
That's 19 straight free throws made for Allie Quigley. And the lead is cut to 2. Final 37 seconds here in quarter number 3. Rookie wisely backed it out. Working on Dolson. Oh, she saw she had the mismatch.
Absolutely. That's wow. Maturation from a rookie to recognize. She's got a post player on her. The rest of the team cleared out. And what does she do? She attacks and puts the shot up so that she can get the call in the act of shooting.
That was one of the headiest plays I've seen for a rookie. You know, you realize you can go around Dolson, but use your body and try to get the 2 from the line. But you got to make them.
You got to make them. You got to make that pay off. It was a smart play by Jasmine Jones.
Jones at the line. Comes in averaging just under 11 points a ball game. And New York now with their biggest lead of the game at 3. They've trailed by as many as 16 in this contest. Quigley's pull-up nails it. Shot clock turned off, final 10 here in the third. They gave Shook a lot of room. She'll take the shot and she drains it. My goodness.
These rookies, look, they're playing like they've been here before. Kylie Shook knocks down the jumper, walks off, doesn't even smile about it. She said, I've been here.
New York shoots 68% in the third, and Carolyn, we had a barrage of threes from New York tonight.
Before the game, I tweeted to tune in. The Chicago Sky were chasing to be in the action to get to the top of the league, but that the New York Liberty might rain on their parade. Well, they're raining from the three-point line. They have caught fire. And I tell you, after a couple of players hit shots, I've always talked about it can become contagious.
Very much so. New York's season high in points was 85. That was the first game with Chicago. And they're going to the hole so aggressively. And, you know, we showed all the threes, but they're doing more than that tonight.
Well, the thing to understand about the New York offense, it's built upon getting to the free throw line or getting in the paint and knocking down threes. When you've established that you're going to hit threes, the defense plays you a little tighter. And that's when the option to cut to the basket can open up, and Jocelyn Willoughby took advantage of that.
Chicago's been to the free throw line 24 times. New York, that is their 11th. But they do have the lead by 4. Chicago, though, very explosive offensively. Number 2 in the league in points.
Well, Courtney Vandersloot getting some rest on the bench right now.
Quigley gets the bucket, draws the contact. Heady move.
Coming off the screen. As soon as Jones goes to try to cut her off baseline, then she attacks to the middle and pulls up for the jumper before she gets too close to Kia Stokes. You got to score in your window, and that's what Quigley's one of the best at doing.
Allie Quigley will go to the line, the native of Joliet, Illinois. Completes the three-point play. The lead goes to 1. Key has done a good job in the minutes she's gotten tonight.
Well, now will the New York Liberty play to win as opposed to playing not to lose?
And the foul is going to be against New York. And that'll be against Stokes. That is her third personal foul. Copper has been sort of quiet tonight, can't get it to go. Shook, who hit the big shot to end the quarter, pulls the rebound down.
And Ron, recognize this. New York is playing with 3 rookies on the floor, and they're getting it done.
How about Shook tonight? She's got 6 in the ball game. And one of the things Walt Hopkins was saying about his offense, you got to recognize the proximity of your defender and take advantage of it. Copper is down, holding the right ankle. We'll take a break. 8:39 to play in the ball game. New York trying to get their 2nd win of the year.
Without the express written consent of WNBA Enterprises.
Here's how Copper got hurt. Coach, you said it looked like she stepped on Shook's ankle there, or her foot.
Yeah, that right foot, she came down. She was able to walk off, but she came down on Kylie Shook's foot.
Well, she was able to walk off under her own power. And once again, you know, Chicago without Azurá Stevens, who we just saw her on crutches on the sideline, and Diamond DeShields, who's still a day or 2 away from coming back. So that'd be a big hurt. Foul's going to be called. Tried to get the ball inside. Stokes commits the infraction. That'll be her 4th.
So I would believe that Chicago, without Kalia Copper, they're going to try to go to on the outside Allie Quigley and Cheyenne Parker going inside the post up.
Quigley with a floater, no. Look like they're taping up Kalia Copper's ankles. That'll be a jump ball. For those of you just tuning in here on CBS Sports Network, Chicago led by as many as 16, but a sizzling 3rd quarter for Walt Hopkins' squad where they shot 68%. They were able to take the lead at the end of 3.
Well, he has talked about this season that they've had 1 or 2 quarters in a game, but not put 4 solid quarters together. Right. Well, they have 3 they have put together so far tonight.
Vandersloot can't get it to go. Good job, New York, boxing out defensively. Jasmine Jones will run the show, hands it off to Key. They switch with Golson. Shook tried to take advantage of it. Golson pokes it out of bounds. And it'll be New York's basketball. You have to wonder, all the rookies out there for Coach Hopkins, how are they going to handle this type of situation when they look up, trying to get their 2nd win of the year? How are they going to react? Who's going to be the aggressor? How about Shook?
With the putback, they look very they've broken in to the system. They look pretty comfortable out there right now, not rattled.
Watch this. 5-point New York lead.
Well, after setting the pick, Kylie Shook then just slips into that open space area. That puts her in the position for the offensive rebound.
Shook with 8 in the ball game. Zowie B, they give her a lot of room. I'll make you pay if you do that. Zowie with a new season high, 22 tonight.
Walt Hopkins talked to me today about even a contested 3. He's okay with that when it comes from Zowie B. He's comfortable with her taking that shot.
Quigley tries to answer, can't get it. Biggest lead of the game for New York. 3 minutes gone by here in the 4th. Key on the drive, right down the tunnel, can't finish. Quigley, yes, with a 3.
Now with Kalia Copper out of the game right now, New York's got to recognize the go-to player on the perimeter, that's Allie Quigley. The defense has got to force Gabby Williams to take perimeter shots.
He did not even hesitate over the outstretched hands of Vandersloot. He's got 10 in the ball game. He was only 2 for 9 shooting this year coming into this game. She's 3 of 8 tonight. Whistle and a foul. Zowie B having a whale of a game.
Well, she wants it up top, and even with the hand from Cheyenne Parker, she is zoned in right now. And then Paris Key, recognizing she had the step on Courtney Vandersloot, the offensive confidence that the New York Liberty have right now, that's what Walt Hopkins has been looking for.
Zowie B, 4 of 7 from beyond the arc. Her season high is 6 3-pointers made. Jones needs a little bit of help. Dolson helped bail her out, poking it away. And a timeout's going to be called by New York. .6:03 to play in the ball game. Can New York hold on? They lead by 7. The New York Liberty have not won since August 7th when they beat the Mystics 74-66, trying to get their second win of the year tonight, and they have played an outstanding game.
Well, a lot of that had to do with Zowie B. She showed the diversity of her game.
Clarendon try to beat the shot clock. That'll be a violation. Lead will stay at 7. But again, Chicago, a lot of firepower.
But I think that the Liberty really shocked the Chicago Sky in how they came out with their intensity and execution on both ends of the floor.
Quigley. Willoughby gets caught up in the screen, and Quigley makes her pay. Quigley with 23 in a ball game, one of 4 Chicago players in double figures. And good defensive effort that time by Chicago.
Well, Allie Quigley coming off the ball screen. The Liberty want a shot at this game. They cannot have the breakdown. Zowie B takes a step back when Quigley comes around that corner. You got to take a step up when it's Allie Quigley with the basketball.
Lead is only 5. Quigley catch and shoot. Zowie B pulls down her 10th rebound. That's her second double-double this season. The 10 boards to go along with the 22 points. Willoughby, and she knocks down another 3. The 14th made by New York tonight. Williams running right-hander.
Yeah, but Chicago's going to have to start now running New York off the three-point line. You can't swap 2s for 3s.
Shook. Season high was 9. She's got 8 so far tonight.
Jocelyn Willoughby, somehow Allie Quigley got lost, and that left Jocelyn Willoughby wide open, and the rookie the confidence to pull the trigger and knock it down.
How about Willoughby tonight? 5 of 5 shooting, 3 of 3 from beyond the arc. She hadn't made a three-pointer since July 31st. And she triples up tonight on it. Obviously, Kalia Copper okay, back in the game, misses the jump shot. And a whistle and a foul, and that'll probably be on Courtney Vandersloot.
But Ron, if we can go back to Jocelyn Willoughby, and her minutes have been, there have been some games she hasn't played, some games she played very limited minutes, and Walt Hopkins talked about he's just trying to find combinations that work and where each skill set fits. It looks like he's starting to get that puzzle put together.
Willoughby very familiar with this team. She grew up 16 miles from Barclays, where they play. The 3. Oh, that one just wouldn't fall. Vandersloot, nobody guarded her. She pulls up and drills it for her 14th point.
She knows when to call her own number.
Oh. Yeah, know, we talk about the assists all the time, but she is a heady offensive player too. Averaging over 13 points a ball game. Clarendon over the outstretched hands of Parker. Vandersloot on the drive, and she draws the foul. Let's go back to Courtney Vandersloot.
Well, she's able to go off that drag screen from Cheyenne Parker and then to be wide open. But then Lasia Clarendon, she recognizes she gets the step as well. It's point guard against point guard.
Vandersloot gets the free throw. You know, you look at the 4-game winning streak and what Courtney Vandersloot has done. She has been incredible. She's averaged almost 18 points a game. She was shooting 63%, and her free throw string is broken, but the lead is down to 5. Clarendon.
The Liberty shooters got to stay ready.
Lasia Clarendon goes right around Cheyenne Parker for the layup.
The key for the Liberty, they don't need to take early shots in the shot clock, but they don't need to be passive either. If the shot is there, pull the trigger.
Got to remain aggressive offensively. Catch and shoot and a 3 by Quigley.
Because there will be no hesitation from Allie Quigley when it comes to taking the shot.
This is the time when players like Quigley and Vandersloot really step up. Clarendon works on Vandersloot, leans inside, no, got the rebound, lost it. Sloot fights for it. It'll be New York's basketball.
Right now, the New York Liberty have a 4-point lead, but Allie Quigley can keep it in, keep them close. We're in for a good one down the stretch.
Here's the importance of this game. Don't forget, by the way, Las Vegas and the Dallas Wings coming up immediately following this game on CBS Sports Network. But you look at the Sky at 10-4, and the Lynx right behind it 9-4. I mean, this would be a big loss if this score stays the same for Chicago.
Well, you can't count Chicago out of this game because they have won so many nail biters down the stretch. Right. And a lot of times it has been Allie Quigley who has been the one that has hit the clutch shot. So if they can get to within one possession, hey, Chicago can get it done.
Quigley hit the game winner versus Vegas earlier this year. She's got a season high tonight. Clarendon takes that one little step through. Clarendon now with 15. Quigley 3 off her career high. Parker wasn't sure what to do with it. The footwork kind of got messed up. Inside of 2 to play.
A one-on-one defense for New York. That's been what Walt Hopkins has been looking for.
Clarendon lost it. Parker comes up with it. Vandersloot quickly up ahead. Quigley buries a 3, and she's tied her career high.
See, now it's a one-possession game. Can Chicago get a stop, or can New York handle the pressure?
Jones, the rookie, handling the ball in a pressure situation. Clarendon looks at the shot clock, and we've got a whistle, and a timeout's going to be called. Allie Quigley has tied her career high. She set it in 2016 versus New York.
I told you she was a gamer. If there was anybody that was going to keep Chicago in this game, it would be Allie Quigley. She's got such a quick catch and shoot release. That's a good timeout by Walt Hopkins not to lose the possession. They weren't able to execute anything, but they only have 6 seconds left on the shot clock in this possession.
Just a reminder, the national TV schedule coming up immediately following this game. It'll be Las Vegas and Dallas. And don't forget, on Saturday on ABC, beginning at 2 o'clock, Seattle and the same Chicago team will kick it off. And then for the first time ever, the WNBA will be on CBS. And that'll be at 4 o'clock Eastern time. Dallas and Indiana, another key matchup. Carolyn and I will be there for the call on that game.
And I'm looking forward to that. It'll be a shootout with Arike Ogunbowale. You've got Kelsey Mitchell. You also have Tiffany Mitchell. That I hope that she's able to come back and play as strong as she has played down the stretch. And how will Tiara McCowan start at the game? Because if she starts out strong, she is a force to deal with inside. And the Dallas Wings are playing without Isabel Harrison.
Oh, that's a big loss. Izzy Harrison out for the season. Mariah Jefferson also out for the season. But Satu Sabali has come back.
And Alicia Gray is playing great as well now that she's back in the starting lineup.
Timeout situation. The Sky have 2. New York has 1. The lead is 3. New York trying to pick up their 2nd win of the year. Allie Quigley, what a game she has had tonight. 29 points, one of 4 Sky players in double figures.
The most important thing that New York needs to do is they've got to get the ball in, and they've got to make sure that if they get a shot and it doesn't go in, got to get the rebound.
Shot clock at 1. Nurse did not get it off. That is frustrating for a coach because you know how much time you have coming out of that timeout.
Well, and you're playing a Chicago Sky who has been in this situation time in and time out this season.
Quigley again, just barely misses the 3. Offensive rebound. And we've got a whistle. And the foul's going to be called against New York. That'll be against Amanda Zawi B.
But watch Kalia Copper crash in on the weak side to get that rebound. And she talked about that's where she gets her energy from, is going to the glass.
And Stokes wants to know, what else did I do? Puts the hand up, and Cheyenne Parker will go to the free throw line, and Coach Hopkins can't get over it. And what he's doing right now, the players were talking about it, specifically Brianna Odom. She said she didn't get a call one game, and she looked over to the side, and Coach was on the officials, and she said he was backing me up. She never forgot that.
And you know, players love that when a coach really has the back of their players, because you know players never think that they foul, and when coaches stand up for you too, you love that.
New York's been to the free throw line 11 times. That's the 29th free throw attempt for Chicago. 1-point advantage. Zawi B, no, there's a foul before that. Foul be on Cheyenne Parker. That'll be her 4th personal foul. James Wade yelling out instructions to his team. Clarendon, Zawi B, couple of pump fakes, uses the right hand to get Quigley. Great pass, Stokes on the inside.
Zawi B, very patient, and again, it's the post players, the size of New York, using their size and attacking, being an option, cutting to the rim instead of staying outside the three-point line, and Amanda Zawi B loves it.
Amanda Zawi B, a double-double tonight. 22 points, 12 rebounds, her 2nd double-double of the season. But no play has been bigger than what she just did there.
those two, Zowie B and Kia Stokes, being threats inside instead of having 5 players out beyond the three-point line and making that threat down the chute, down the middle of the paint, has really worked well for the New York Liberty.
New York shooting a season high 56%, a season high 47% from 3. They're 9 of 11 from the free throw line, but what is really impressive, 25 assists tonight for the Liberty. Final 31.8, here we go. Vandersloot, they switch. Clarendon stays with her. The 3 on the way, knocked down. Stephanie Colston with a 3. And we are tied. Jones, Zowie B, Clarendon with 2 on the shot clock. Whistle and a foul's going to be called.
With 0.3 seconds. Lasia Clarendon is in the air, and Stephanie Dolson runs into her. That's a foul. That's a good call.
That is a good call. A lot of contact. Dolson at 6'5", Clarendon at 5'9". What a game for this young Liberty team.
They put 4 solid quarters together, and at times they've had 3 rookies on the floor at once.
Chicago's going to call a timeout, but they only have 0.3 of a second left. They'll get the ball, obviously, at midcourt. But this is going to be a Hail Mary, hope for a foul to be called.
I've seen stranger things when it comes to the Chicago Sky, because Valley quickly on the floor, she can just, you put it up in the air, she doesn't have time to come down, just catch it and let it go.
Remember what she did against Vegas this year. As my former broadcast partner Doug Collins said, never say the game is over until you hear the buzzer.
Till the fat lady sings.
There you go. So now they're drawing up the final play. You would have to think it would be a Quigley or Vandersloot, but Gabby Williams has had one of her better games tonight with 12 points and 8 rebounds. How about that? Season average 72.8, 101 tonight. Their previous high was against Chicago, and that was 85. Trying to win their first game since August 7th.
This would be huge in the standings and in the league.
I mean, New York has caught everybody's attention to how hard they play. Everybody knows that. But this win would give them a little more respect. Vandersloot to trigger it. Quigley. They throw it up for grabs, hits off the backboard, and that's going to do it. Amanda Zowie B, 22 points, 12 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 blocks. Leads the New York Liberty, their second victory of the year. Carolyn, that was just an incredible performance for Coach Hopkins' squad.
Won't say that they had an additional day off, but they had 2 days to prepare in between.